my name is Ada, and today I'm going to be talking about what working for Instacart is like. I'm going to be going over some pros and cons of working for them. I'm here to inform anyone that's interested in doing Instacart so that you don't have to figure these things out once you're already started. This way, you already know kind of what you're getting into, and you can prepare for these things ahead of time. But before I dive into the pros and cons, I do want to talk about, first of all, what is Instacart? For those of you that don't know or want a little bit more information, Instacart is a grocery delivery service. And by the way, full disclosure, this is not a sponsored video. I work for Instacart. They are a grocery delivery service. You grocery shop for people and then you deliver it to their homes. So how that works is on both sides there's an app. So you have a driver's app where you can sign up for shifts or you can pick up batches, and you can from there they give you like a little quote-unquote list. They're little pictures of what you're picking up, and it tells you how much you're making, that kind of thing, and then you go do it, deliver it to their house, complete it. Sometimes it requires a signature, and that's pretty much it. It's fairly simple. You sign up for it. There's like contracts that you have to do. You have to show them a copy of your ID, just that you have a driver's license and that you can work. One of the first things that I do want to say is that there are two options in this Instacart thing. The first one is that you can just be a shopper. The one I'm going to be talking about today is the full service shopping. So you shop for them and deliver. You have to wait for them to give you some of the materials that you're going to need, including like a card. They send you a little Instacart badge. It doesn't say your name or anything. A little bit about the procedure. So how it works is that if you sign up for a shift, your shift starts, you can be at home, you can be in your car, whatever you want. You're just waiting around for a batch is what they call it to happen or to pop up. Batch pops up and it tells you this person, this is their 107th order with Instacart, these are the items, this is the store, this is how much it's gonna pay, and it lets you accept. I like to scroll through that little list, just kind of get a little eye of what I'm gonna be buying and make a little mental image of what my route's gonna look like to get there in and out quick. Then I accept it. Gives you about 3 or so minutes to accept it. It's more than enough time to kind of get to your car and start driving. So then you go ahead and start your order. It lets you navigate to the store in case you don't know where it's at. Once you're at the store, you start shopping. So you slide this little button and it tells you the list with more detail and it pops up. As you are shopping, you do have to scan the items with your phone camera. You scan the item, then it disappears. It lets them know. If you cannot find an item, you can choose a replacement. Sometimes the customers have a preferred replacement, so you have to try and get them that item. But if it's also not in stock, or you just for some reason can't find it, or it's just not there, whatever the case, sometimes the app gives you other options to get it as well. You have to go with your gut, try and get the closest possible thing that you can find. It does let you message with the member. That way you can kind of see, oh, do you prefer this or do you want that? It's more expensive. Are you sure? Do you want me to just leave it out? And you can kind of see what you want to do from there. But once you're done, you want to go to the next, slide the little thing button and go to the next option, which is paying for your stuff. Well, first they got to review the order. But if you find everything, you can just slide. It says there's nothing to review, and then you're ready to pay. So you go, if they have a rewards card, it'll show it on the phone. You just show it to the cashier. If not, then it just tells you to pay. So you pay, then it asks you if they paid for any bags, if they have to get charged for them. You say how many, next. Then you take a picture of the receipt, and it takes you straight to the part where you have to deliver. And it gives you a time frame both to shop and then a time frame to deliver it by. From there, you take it to their place and it navigates you to their home or to their location, and you just swipe to deliver once you're done. Sometimes it does require a signature. But that's pretty much how a shift with Instacart works. Now I'm going to go into the pros and cons of working for Instacart. And I'm going to start with the pros because you want to know all the good stuff, and then I'll get to the bad stuff after that. I don't want to scare you off by starting off with the bad stuff. But yeah, let's get started. Don't mind me, I did write down little note cards so I don't forget anything that I want to talk about. So without further ado, I would have to say that Pro number 1 is going to have to be that you don't have to pay for any of the groceries. So basically they send you this cute little like debit card that you just swipe and pay with. It's pre-loaded based on the individual client, so you don't have to pay anything out of pocket. It comes with that card. You don't have to worry about getting it first, then you pay back. So moving on to pro number 2, I would have to say is that working for Instacart, now you do get benefits if you choose to enroll in them. So I sprained my ankle trying to deliver my groceries on time. If you don't deliver on time, essentially your metrics go down and they give you less of the good deliveries when you're working a shift. But when that happened, the company didn't have like workers' comp or anything that you could file that you got hurt. And a few days after I got hurt, they implemented that policy. And so that was really sad. But tangent over, point being is that they do have benefits that you can take advantage of if you choose to do so. Pro number 3 is that you are not interacting with people, so to speak. For example, with Uber or Lyft or you have to drive people around. And I personally am a little bit of an introvert. I don't really like talking to people. I'm such a hermit. But with Instacart, you deliver their groceries, but you're not really interacting with them like in your cart or anything. So you literally just go to the grocery store, shop for them, deliver, bye, hi, and you're done. And then you can continue working, which is really nice. You don't have to like sit there and, do I talk to them? Do I not? If they're drunk, you don't have to worry about any of that like you do with Uber or Lyft. On to number 4, my personal favorite is that you get to work your own hours within the time frame of groceries being open. You get to choose your own hours, and usually I believe the shifts start at 7 in the morning, anywhere from 7 in the morning to either 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. I would have to double check on that. That's awesome if you're like in school like me. That was my biggest issue with my previous job, that I had to leave because of school. I just didn't have the time to be working the like 8-hour shifts, 6-hour shifts that they put me in. But with Instacart, your minimum shifts have to be 2 hours. So as long as you work you can choose to work a 2-hour shift, and then you're good with that. Or you can choose to work more if you'd like as well, but the minimum requirement is just 2. If you decide to cancel a shift, you don't get penalized. It's kind of like a warning. They have that on you, and if you reach either 5 or 6 of them within a time frame, you can't work anymore. But that's if you cancel, and they give you 6 hours. If you do it before 6 hours into your shift, then you can do it with no penalty. The other good thing with Instacart is that you can also choose to do just batches. Batches are if during a certain shift, all of the drivers are already delivering for someone else, then Instacart will send out a notification to all of its drivers in the app, and it will tell them like, this batch is this much money, it's in this location, do you want it? And you get to decide if you want it or not. You can just do that batch and then you're done. You don't have to worry about having to get another batch or anything like that. So however long it takes you, usually when I do just like a 1 batch, it takes me anywhere from half an hour to an hour to deliver, depending on how many items the customer has and how far away from the store they live. If I'm lucky, it only takes me like 10 minutes and I'm done. But that's very rare. Usually customers who live that close will just go instead. But I do get the rare occasion where it just takes me that little bit of time. Like traffic hours, that's usually when Instacart is the busiest. And a lot of the times, even when I don't sign up for a shift, I end up working like 3 to 4 hours straight, just because there's always batches going on. Pro number 5 is gonna be the money. So each batch is usually between $9 to $40. And sometimes it's more because of tips, but it really just depends. Overall, I end up making anywhere from $15 to $20 an hour, which is really nice. Obviously, like, you're trying to work, you're trying to make some money. It's a really good side money. Moving on to the cons. So my first con is gonna have to be with the system. To get to the customer's house, you do have to take Google Maps. And this con will probably depend on your area. I I live in Santa Barbara, and we have a lot of dorms, a lot of apartment complexes, and sometimes when you're there, the directions, you know, it takes you to that apartment, but it doesn't really guide you into like which direction their particular location is at. For example, I went to, I don't even know what it's called. It's like this little housing community. And you know, the location took me there, and it was like, you're here. Yeah, I'm here, but there's like 7 roads with different houses. How do I know which one I'm supposed to deliver to? Con number 2. So con number 2 is that it's this Instacart is not like Lyft, or I'm not too sure if Uber works this way as well, but I had a friend that worked for Lyft, and he could drive in Santa Barbara, in Ventura. He could go to San Diego and be driving people up there if he wanted to, essentially anywhere. And I'm a person that spends a lot of time down in LA as well as Santa Barbara. It would be nice to be able to work Instacart while I am somewhere else. Unfortunately, you can't. You have your set like area code, and it does give you a few cities where you can do it. Con number 3. So con number 3, it's not really a con, I guess, but for me, I'm trying to work so I can make money. So it's a con. You have to buy insulated bags. Unfortunately, you have to pay for them, and they're not too expensive. They have a requirement, and you have to send them pictures that you bought them and that you have them. You're supposed to have 4, which isn't bad, but like, I'm trying to make money. I'm not trying to spend more money, you know. They do give you the option to buy it from them, so they send them to you. But the reason why, not that it pisses me off, but the reason why it bothers me so much and I'm putting it as a con is because I personally I rarely have the need to use them. Because usually they buy a lot of groceries and you have to get bags anyways. On to con number 4 is that when you're working shifts, you have to take the batches. So, as I was saying earlier, you can either work a shift or you can just pick up one batch and then you're done. Unfortunately, when you sign up for a shift, you have to take the batch that they give you. The reason why I'm saying that it's a con is because sometimes the batches are only $9. For example, you can't, it's not worth it to only get paid $9 or $6 to drive for 20 minutes, grocery shop for people, and then drive like all the way back to the campus to deliver to them, or to somewhere else to deliver to them, and then all the way home. It's just not really worth it. But unfortunately, when you're doing shifts, you have to take them. Why I don't really work the shifts as well is because I don't like being stuck in a situation where it's items that I don't want to buy, or it's just like a shift that I don't want to take. I tend to not pick up shifts or batches that include a lot of produce, just because people are really picky with their produce. I know I am, and I don't blame them, but I don't want to get stuck with that responsibility of them not liking a certain produce that I pick and then having to go back to the store and return it or get something else for them. I've had this happen to me a couple of times where they only have their like leftover produce, all the like bad produce, and all the good stuff is packed away in boxes because they're still barely taking things into the floor. So that's just something that I don't like having to deal with. Unfortunately, when you work a shift, you have to. Number 4 is gonna have to be that shifts are scheduled ahead of time. So you have all these workers, all these people that are signed up for shifts, and you have to schedule them ahead of time. And there's early access and there's just regular access. People with early access are those that have really good metrics and that have been working a lot of hours. If the shifts get taken, then you have to get on the wait list. And sometimes the wait list can be really long. There can be up to 15 people on there. The only way that you will get on the wait list is if people cancel their shifts. When I first started, I thought that being on the wait list meant that if people were working, then that wait list was how they were going to distribute the leftover batches. On to con number 5. I'd have to say that this is the biggest con for me, just the absolute biggest. You are working as an independent contractor, so you have to pay for your own taxes. They do not take anything out. What you get is what you get, and you have to worry about that. So how that works is that you essentially have to pay not just the taxes that you would regularly on any other job, but on top of that, you have to pay the other side of taxes. So when you work for a company that gives you a W-2 form at the end of the year, that company pays a certain amount of taxes to the government, and then you pay the rest. As an independent worker, you have to pay both things. So you're paying anywhere from like 30 to 35% of taxes from what you make. So even though you don't pay till the end of the year, you're still paying for that. So unless you're saving up money for that, then it's not really worth it. So the harsh reality of it is, for example, my last paycheck at an actual company, so I worked for 24-Hour Fitness. So if you guys want me to make a video on what that was like, comment down below, let me know, and I can totally do one for 24-Hour Fitness as well. So my last paycheck for 24-Hour Fitness, my gross income was $281.12. I did not work that many hours, so it was pretty low, and that was before taxes. So after taxes, I made $243.31, which I guess it's not bad. They didn't take away that much money, so that was nice. However, if my Instacart payment would have been $281.12, 30 to 35% saving for taxes would have left me with $196.78. So that is a lot less because you have to pay more taxes. So that's something that you have to keep in mind if you're going to be working for people like Instacart, Uber, Lyft, Grubhub, all those kinds of things. Yeah, they market it as you're making all of this money, but really you're an independent contractor, so you're having to pay all these taxes. So it is something that you have to think about. It's not something that I would just do if I have to, if I'm picking up shifts that are only like $9 per batch or stuff like that. Sometimes it's just not worth it. I worked one batch a couple of days ago and it was $9. It was a quick trip, it was like 20 minutes, but I'm saving 50% of that. So really I only made $4, and I don't know, to me it just doesn't seem worth it. But it just depends. It's good residual income, and if you don't mind not getting paid that well, then it's not too bad, I guess. Like for me personally, sometimes it's worth it just because I literally just lay around in bed watching Netflix all day and not get anything done. And it's like, well, if I'm just gonna lay in bed, I'd rather at least make a little bit of money, even though I'm getting underpaid. So if you work full time, I think it might be worth it just because you get better tips. If you're faster, you get better produce, things like that. When you first start, that's definitely not the case. It's really slow, and this is something that I was warned about by my friend before I started. So I knew that at first it was going to be really slow. Yeah, anyways, I hope you guys found some use from this video. If you're thinking of joining Instacart, I would say definitely give it a try. It's worth it. I personally like grocery shopping, so for me it's fun even when I don't make that much money. Of course, you get good days, you get bad days. It's pretty nice. I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew both the pros and the cons of working for Instacart, because if I wouldn't have known that I was an independent contractor, quote unquote, it definitely would have sucked, getting all this money, spending it, and then at the end of the year realizing that I have to pay $600, $700 in taxes just because I didn't save and I didn't know. So I hope that you guys found some use in this video. Give it a thumbs up if it was useful, if you liked it. If you want another video on working for 24-Hour Fitness, if it's worth it, what it's like, go ahead and leave a comment down below. But yeah, that was it for today. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye!